So, I'm Nathan's dad, the dad of the original Genji with 3 Ys. I made his name in the snow like this: Gingeyy.
All right, Dad.
Hey, fellas.
Do you want to do the intro for fun?
Yeah, I would. I appreciate you letting me on and giving me the opportunity to do 71, episode 4. I don't know. I'm excited. This is a long time coming, and I appreciate it, Nathan.
Yeah.
Fernando. You guys, including me in on this. I think I have some pretty good insight on the sport, basketball, Spurs. I went retro. This is the old shirt that when Nathan was, I don't even know how old you were, Nathan, but I pulled this out of the dresser, and this is the Spurs coach team shirt for the Spurs league back when I wasn't planning on being a coach, but I did so anyway.
Oh, that's the
kind of on a
Spurs League
whim.
shirt? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that's a Spurs League shirt, brother.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So that's like
I wasn't planning on coaching that year, and I did because the one guy that was gonna coach didn't. He ended up being the GM. I ended up being kind of an assistant, and we took over. And and that year, golly, Nathan was what were you? 13, 12, 13?
I don't remember.
We took it all the way to the finals. We were down by, I think, 12 in the last 5 minutes.
Minus
18, 12, 13, 14.
No, it would have. I would have been like 12. Yeah, I would have been 12 because Quentin
and it sucks
Q was on our
because,
team.
Fernando, I ended up yanking Nathan out of this game. I yanked him out of the game. I gave him a clipboard, and Nathan had the clipboard in timeouts and was like, guys, just listen to me. Just listen to what I'm telling you right now.
Q kept trying to
And they
shoot
listened to
fucking
him.
threes, and I said go in for layups, and then we won the game. I was like, you keep shooting threes, and you have like a 20% free, like you have a 20% like three. Just fucking drive the ball in.
But we won.
Yeah.
We came back and won. 5 minutes left. So
Winter wins.
I did that for you, Nathan.
Yeah. So, do you know what, like, CFPO or, like, team is, Fernando? Or anybody watching, I guess?
No. CFPO?
Or, like...
Pee-wee football.
Pee-wee...
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, Spurs League is literally that, but it's, like, centralized to, like, my hometown in San Antonio. And that's why it's called Spurs League. It's just a bunch of, like... It's a bunch of, like, 10 to 13-year-olds just that don't know how to play basketball trying to play basketball, except some of them did know how to play basketball, and they tried to balance out the teams to where like no team was like super overpowered, so every team had like the 2 really good players and then a bunch of other shitty players, and so every team would do the same thing, which would be pass it to the 2 good players and then sit back. That's all it was. Like, even before my dad coached, we had Jared, who now plays football at UTSA. But before he was really into football, he played basketball. And all it was give the ball to Jared, and Jared like runs the ball in, and we're up by like 20 points in 10 minutes. So, like, that's all we did. Just give the ball to somebody that's good, and then just act like you're doing something.
Fernando doesn't want to hear this, but this team was loaded. They were. And I could see it. Nathan was good. There were 4, I want to say a half a dozen other players. 3 of those half a dozen other players are now playing D1 ball, either basketball or football. With a full ride. And I don't think Nathan knows that because
No.
I've kept up with these kids.
I still
followed these kids.
I still talk to Jimmy because Jimmy works at Market at HEB now. And then Dylan, I still talk to Dylan because
Jimmy's a good kid, but
I still talk to Dylan because Dylan's sister talks to my little brother. And then, yeah, I know some of the guys that were still on that team, but other than Dylan and Jimmy, I don't talk to them. Like Bobby, I can see if I can try and find Bobby somewhere, like on Instagram. And then since we're already on this like Spurs League thing, do you want to talk about Q?
No.
You don't want
really.
to?
No.
Okay.
I want to jump right in. I want to jump right
Okay,
into some
yeah.
of the things that Fernando has. I want to jump right into some of the things that maybe you have. I'd like at some point to talk about the 100-point rule because I've been on YouTube 4 times now, and none of the 4 times in looking up the 100-point rule or online has anybody ever addressed this. Not ESPN, not Bleacher, not Sporting News, not USA Today. It's never been addressed. And I guarantee if we get our point across here, I fully feel like somebody will attach to that and look it up and run the stats on it as hard as it is to overcome and to pull that information because it's extremely difficult to pull that information. I fully feel like we're onto something here, you know? And I'd like to have the 3 of us included in on this because this is something that's near and dear to my heart. It's something that my dad started back in the 80s with the Lakers and the Celtics rivalry, and I've only seen it happen 3 times. Anyway, go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, before we really get in and sit down with topics, if you see anything weird, like for instance, my dad right now, my dad doesn't have his own place. I don't know if he's okay with me saying that, but so if he like walks out of the room or something and has to deal with something, then just it is what it is. Kind of deal with it, kind of thing, and then. Other than that, like, also, we had some all-star stuff written down, like, who we thought was going to win the all-star votes, but the all-star game's today, so that kind of takes away that. So that is why I also have the scoreboard on listed right now up on the recording. So as we record, the game starts at 7. It is 6 right now. So if we happen to like record it somewhat into the game, then I have the scoreboard up so that we, that it's there. And I might...
Nice, Nathan.
Yeah. And if we do end by 7, I might just do a stream where I have a face cam on and I watch the game. So... but yeah, do you want to go into your 100 points thing, Dad? I have a lot of stuff written down, and I know we only have an hour, so I probably won't get to hit all of them. But
no, that's cool. I lost you guys, so I can see myself, but I can't see y'all now.
That's all good. As long as the recording can see us, like it's whatever. Like I know y'all can't see me, but the viewers can see me. Because of the way I have recording set up.
All right, right on. Fernando, you're gonna love this one, man. My dad back in the day started a deal where he said that he called it the 100-point rule, and basically what that meant is the NBA team, doesn't matter who, that scored 100 points first won the game. And I kid you not, you can ask Nathan, I have followed this for literally, I want to say 35 years of my life, and I'm 45.
Okay.
And it has only been tested and broken 3 times. I will say 4 times, because the 4th time is actually the only time that Nathan and I both have been alive that it has happened, and it happened over Christmas. And the Milwaukee Bucks were playing, and they were up by, I want to say 10, and they ended up losing the game. And I told Nathan, I said, I went back and I should have recorded it. I should have taken notes. I should have done a lot, but I didn't. But I want to say that the Bucks actually lost to the Celtics in overtime. And the funny thing is, the ironic thing is the only time that it has happened where it's been broken, all 4 games in my lifetime, it's happened in overtime, where the team came back in the last few seconds.
Do you remember the exact day, Dad?
I don't, Nathan. Like I said, I tried to go in through YouTube and remember exactly which game it was. Like I told you the other day, I thought it was the Bucks and the Celtics. I know it was the Bucks.
I'm pretty sure it was the Bucks.
I just don't
Celtics
remember
too.
who the Bucks were playing.
Let me see.
But if you go in and you look, and I actually thought about calling Dan Patrick and going, hey, I know you've got a set. I mean, they call Dan calls this guys the Danettes. And I was going to say, look, get the Danettes to go and do some research on how many teams have actually lost the game after scoring 100 points. And it takes a lot, because statistics show that you can get the final score of the game. You can get the final third quarter score of the game. You can get what the teams were like at the end of a first half, or at the end of the first quarter, and everything kind of goes in pieces by quarter, but it's very difficult to track because you're talking about live motion, and the fact that you have to be able to track a team that has scored 100 points in mid-sentence, so to speak. You know?
Hang on. I got the game highlights. I want to see if I can pull up who got 100 first. But I got the game, I think, right here.
So the only other time that I can remember was when my dad was still alive, and it was the late 80s, and the Lakers were up by, I want to say, 8 points, and the Celtics came back. Probably one of the few times I've ever seen my dad extremely angry, to the point where he got up. We had a coffee table way back in the day when I was growing up. My dad made the coffee table. He didn't break the coffee table, but I thought he was going to break it at that time. And it was the classic Magic Johnson, Kareem, James Worthy, Kurt Rambis, Michael Cooper, Larry Bird, I still forget his name. Robert Parrish, Danny Ainge. It was that Lakers and Celtics rivalry that, I'm not going to go on a tangent here, but based on free agency now, you don't see an awful lot of that. Because, like LeBron, for example, or Harden, or even Dwayne Wade, when Dwayne Wade was still playing. Some of the premier players,
okay, it isn't December 23rd. I thought it was the December 23rd. I thought it was the December 23rd game, but Celtics got to 100 first and Celtics won, so it isn't the December 23rd game.
No, that's not it.
You said near Christmas, so I just looked up.
It was around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Now the other two, man, I don't know. I've got them written down, I think, at your grandmother's house somewhere, somehow. I'll pull it. I'll find it. The other two, one of those was I want to say I was still in high school, and the other one I was out of high school. But I wrote them both down 4 times. And you're talking about 82 games this season. You're talking about, and that's 82 games per team.
How many teams are there again? Something like
30.
30, yeah. I was about to say 32, but
I mean,
No, Griffin is
sometime
NFL.
that.
And
I wanna say there
times
were 24,
35
26
years.
when I was growing up.
You want to do times 35 years?
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Do it. Pull it up. See what you come up
That's 86,100 games.
with. 86,100 games, and I have experienced 4 times. 4 times.
So 4, we'll go percentages too. So 4
Okay.
divided by 86,100 is and then times 100 for percent. So 0.004
.004.
if I did the percentage right.
And if I get a chance, don't quote me on this, okay? No guarantees here. But if I get a chance, I'll call Dan Patrick tomorrow and see if I can get through. I'm serious. I'll call him tomorrow. I've got a relatively light day, but you know how that goes. I say a light day, and then it ends up being nonstop crazy. You know, and I'll see if I can get in, and I'll tell him straight up. You know, I guarantee the screener on the phone calls, when I explain the situation, I guarantee they'll let me in. I guarantee it. Because it's a viable stat that's very, very difficult to track. And considering the fact that
You cut out. Oh, jeez.
I think we lost him.
Oh, jeez. That ain't good. Yeah, my dad has, like I said, he has, he doesn't have a place of his own, and so he has really shitty Wi-Fi. I just texted him, so we'll see what happens. I guess I'll bring up something while we're waiting on him to reconnect. I want to roast the fuck out of you for a second, Fernando.
And why is that?
Flashback. Episode 1 of Plus 71. First getting things started, we were thinking of topics. One of the topics was the biggest disappointments so far. Do you remember one of the players on that list of yours?
I said that one of my favorite surprises were Obi Toppin.
No, not
Scott
surprises, not surprises. Do you remember your biggest disappointments?
Oh, he left.
Yeah.
Yes. So one of my biggest disappointments was Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I want to roast the shit out of you. You said Anthony Edwards was the biggest disappointment, and he's number 2 in the fucking rookie ladder. Okay, he's back.
My guy, it was a dunk. It was a dunk that made him go up to number 2.
It was one dunk, according to you.
His game has improved. I will not lie, but he's not disappointing me now. But when I call him one of the best rookies,
Dad, you're back in the call, so
I think he's not better than LaMello.
okay, we can see you. We can, yeah. We see your ceiling fan right now.
I'm good.
Okay, we can hear you. Yeah, you're good. So I was talking about I wanted to roast the shit out of Fernando because I said let's take a flashback to Plus 71 episode 1, and we did our 5 best rookies and 5 worst rookies. Fernando happened to have Anthony Edwards on his 5 worst rookies, and look at him now.
Again, still, it's over a dunk. He's still one of the best rookies. No, I don't even think he's a top 3 rookie at the moment. He's better than what I said he was before, but he is still not. You act like he's the best rookie, my guy.
I'm not saying he's the best rookie because you know who I think the best rookie is.
Act like he does.
No, because you know who I think the best rookie is. You say it's Jay-Sean Tate just because you're a Rockets fan. And I say LaMelo
right now
will 100% win the Rookie of the Year unless he gets injured. What do you think, Dad? No bias, me being your son. LaMelo, I have stated on both episodes So I keep saying this. This isn't me like slipping up and saying one thing and then going back on it. I'm 100% on this. LaMello, unless he gets injured, has Rookie of the Year in the bag. It's already decided. Unless he gets injured or Jayshawn Tate like starts doing steroids, LaMello has it in the bag. It's already done. It's already decided.
Okay.
He's won the award.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you really want to know how? Do you really want to know my take on this?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, that's why
really
you're
don't
here.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
What's your take? Your opinion?
With that said, honestly, I think all the rookies suck. All of them.
What?
They all suck. Yeah. You want to know why?
Why?
Okay. I'll tell you why. So, recently, I had an opportunity to spend a little bit of time with I think is going to be one of the best rookies to come into the league that I've ever seen in my lifetime. He comes out of U of I, University of Illinois, and I can't even think of the guy's name right now, and it's crazy because
is that why you got me a U of I shirt?
That's one of the reasons why. The kid is absolutely incredible. His fundamentals, his shooting, his ball dribbling, everything about this kid, I could easily see University of Illinois winning this championship this year. And I know we don't want to talk too much about college basketball, but this kid has everything.
Oh, I'm good to talk
He's
about college.
not like LaMelo. He's not like Tate. He's not like Anthony Edwards. Those guys, they have their rhythm, and they have a specialty. They have a specific strength that makes them strong. This kid has everything.
Well-rounded.
I have not seen a kid like this out of college, and I can't even tell you how long. He's that good. So, LaMelo's good. Edwards is good. Tate is good. Those kids are good, but they have their predominant strengths. What makes them strong? And this kid is all around. Takes?
Okay, so go ahead, Fernando, if you got anything. I said go ahead if you got anything, Fernando.
I say that.
I'm gonna take a second here, and I'm gonna try to pull this kid up. Okay?
Yeah.
I wish you had the roster right here if you'd like me to name some of the players. Would you?
Dad, Fernando said he's got the University of Illinois roster, so you're good.
Okay, he's got it pulled up.
Yeah.
Because we're both on laptops, so we can just open a new tab. You gotta actually leave Discord on your phone, so it's a lot harder for you.
No, that's cool. I can give me a second. I'm gonna grab my laptop. Hold on.
I can name the players right now. Maybe I can find them.
But Dad, you were saying oh, I know we don't want to talk about college. March Madness is coming up, so I actually have a lot of college stuff written down.
Okay.
So don't worry about
Fair
getting
enough.
too much into college.
We're good.
I don't that's one of the things I was talking about with Fernando a few weeks ago actually is we can flesh out the podcast by not just talking about NBA but talking about college and G League and stuff like that. So
you guys got me on D League. I don't know an awful lot about D League. The only thing I know about D League is whatever. But I remember way back when Nathan was a little boy, and I was running some retail stores. We had a store down in the valley in McAllen, and they had a D League team, and I did a little bit of marketing with them. They were called I think they were called the Rio Grande Vipers.
That's the Houston Rockets G League team. So I'm gonna probably
they were. You know what? You're right, Fernando. They were a feeder out of the Rockets. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's about all I know about the D League, to be honest. You
Have
know?
you seen
Um,
Have you seen the Spurs? Like, they've been posting actually a lot about the G League, which I think is like kind of interesting. Like, you would figure that the Spurs, like, Instagram would be about the Spurs, but like the last couple weeks, they've been blowing it up with like Austin, like, which is our G League team, and it's like, why are we like, I'm not hating on G League, which is why I want to talk about it, but it's like, if I follow the Spurs Instagram, it should be the San Antonio Spurs, because if you want Instagram post about G League, you can just make an account for the G League team. Don't be like combining the teams.
Well, they do have an account.
That's what I'm saying. Like, split the post up between the two accounts. Don't be posting Austin and San Antonio stuff on like the same account. But I don't know.
and see, the funny thing is you guys say G League, but it wasn't G League. It was D League. It was D League when you were growing up.
I think
It's changed.
it's
Yeah,
G League
the
just because.
It was
developmental league.
D.
Yeah.
It was the developmental league before it was it was the Gatorade G League, right?
Yeah, I think it's called
There you
G
go.
League now just because Gatorade sponsors the fuck out of it. Like, you literally can't look up a NBA G League logo without it being the Gatorade G. Like, I'm almost certain that's why it's called G League, because like the
Yeah,
NBA.
they changed it to the G League. It went from I believe the developmental league to the growth league now for the because of the Gatorade sponsoring.
Yeah, but if you look up the logo, it's the Gatorade G.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you gotta have a sponsor. You gotta have a sponsor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
was
mean-
something else I brought up to you, Dad. Was like with COVID, a lot of these sports that like weren't closed down by like creating new rules. Like the NBA shut down, because it's more national, it's more like well known. So they were like, okay, we're gonna follow the rules for publicity. But like some sports, we're like, no, we're gonna stay open, but people aren't gonna come to our games, so we need money. And so a way they did that was like they renamed all their stadiums to like I'll use this as an example. Obviously, that's not what it's called, but let's say the AT&T Center was called just the San Antonio Stadium. Like so many towns and cities went from like the San Antonio Stadium to like the Lay's Stadium or like the Gatorade Stadium, like all these like sponsored stadiums.
Toyota Center, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, but I'm saying like this is like non-NBA. This is like smaller stuff that was like more local that actually had like the town name. But the problem is once you start getting sponsored by somebody, it's so hard to go back. And so I feel like with COVID, all these people that are like all these stadiums that are now getting sponsored, like the sponsor's not going to stop. They're going to just keep like they're going to want to keep getting money from the sponsor, so they're going to keep that name even when COVID ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me say three quick things with that. Okay, one, it's not just pro. It's happening in college too.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I was saying. It's yeah.
And I saw that in Champaign, where U of I is. I saw that in Green Bay. I saw that in Milwaukee. Milwaukee has Marquette, and Marquette they may not actually make the NCAA tournament for the first time in years. They're the Golden Eagles. There are a lot of sponsorships in Milwaukee, but Marquette does not want to be associated with alcohol. Well, you got two things in Milwaukee: alcohol and cheese.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, but there are a lot of companies, I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think that have tried to sponsor Marquette, but Marquette has gone back and said, you know what, I think there's legalities involved with major distributors like Budweiser or Miller Lite or some of the other companies where they've said, we can't be associated with alcohol. I mean, because we're already a college on top of that. That's one. The second thing is Nathan, this has been going on for years.
I know that.
Look at this. Look at the NBA jerseys. And the Spurs, for example. Sorry, Fernando, I don't remember what Houston has on their jersey, but I know the Spurs have Frost Bank. Well, Frost Bank has been in San Antonio since well before I've been born. Nathan's been born. Frost Bank is a local bank that has just done really, really well. And they've got that logo on the Spurs jersey. It's not going to stop. The sponsorships is what creates money when you don't have marketing and you don't have the concession sales in the stadium. And when you don't have that, and you don't, when you have 3,200 people in the Spurs arena that holds 19,000, and you don't have the alcohol sales, concession, and even I would venture to say that, due to COVID, and I'm sorry I bring up COVID again, but due to COVID, the fact that you probably are not seeing as much merchandise sales, man, these teams have got to get it from somewhere. And if they've got to get it from somewhere, I mean, where are they going to get it from? And then the third thing, well, I don't even remember because I'm old. So, go ahead.
So, I can see that. I see the reasoning for that. But
keep
with the
going
Rockets,
with whatever y'all got. I'm trying to fix the recording right now because it doesn't want to pick up Discord anymore for some reason.
Oh, then we'll wait then.
No, keep going. Like I'll while y'all are talking, I'll try and fix this.
So I was saying that
like it picks up voice, but like the window isn't centered anymore. So I'm trying to fix it. If that makes sense.
I can understand the whole sponsorship details with the economy and everything that happened due to COVID. They had to do the bubble. Stadiums were, the merchandise. There wasn't merchandise being moved. Ticket sales were non-existent for a while, and so I do understand why the whole jersey patches have to be a thing. But the Houston Rockets actually they removed the Rocket patch. The Rocket, the RO. KIT, it was look here, how to hear it. They sponsored the Williams racing team, and it was something that Tillman Fertitta, the owner of the Rockets, he had, but it didn't really make sense. And some people were saying that the only reason that they had the whole sponsor was because Rockets and the Houston Rockets, it made sense in a way.
That's good knowledge. Thank you, Fernando. That, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is a weird thing. Fertitta's people call him a greedy owner, but I mean the Houston Rockets are in a path of development and trying to get back to the old days after the Harden era, which I'm pretty sure we'll talk about.
Okay, who is their VP of Ops?
I know that.
Is it still McHale?
It might be. I know that the owner's Tillman Fertitta.
Yeah.
And the GM is it's the vice president of basketball operations is actually he got promoted from that to general manager. It's Raphael Stone. And he's someone I was critical of at first because, who didn't love Daryl Morey and his, the whole Morey ball thing and not caring about first rounders. Something he didn't care about first rounders. He was gonna get you a star next to Harden. Did it work? Obviously not. We had the whole small ball thing. That didn't work out. The Chris Paul contract. The Russell Westbrook trade, getting Dwight Howard, losing Dwight Howard, and just never really being able to put a good team around Harden, but obviously Harden's still going off.
All right, so let me ask you a question. While Nathan's getting.
I got my stuff ready. I got some.
Okay.
I got.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my topic list. I'm just waiting for a good window to like step in here.
Okay.
Whenever y'all are done.
Do you honestly think that D Howard? Do you honestly think that he has performed at a level that he had the potential to perform? Yes or no?
Dwight Howard. I like Dwight Howard. I love watching him on the Magic. You know, he was one of those guys that he felt like a guy that's ahead of his time. Similar to just.
I feel like he isn't even that popular anymore. Like if you go to kids now that watch the NBA and you say, "Oh yeah, that's Superman," are they gonna know who you're talking about? No, they're like kids nowadays. They only want to like watch the NBA if you're talking about like LeBron or like Giannis and all them. And so it's like if you say like Superman, they're gonna have no fucking idea who you're talking about. I feel like some of those older guys are losing their popularity. You know what I mean?
Well, see, Dwight Howard's still playing, and Dwight Howard had won a ring recently with the Los Angeles Lakers. But I mean, I think people had lost respect for Dwight Howard. You know, he had gone from Orlando to Los Angeles.
Is he still a Laker? I thought he was on the 76ers now.
I'm sorry?
I said, is he still a Laker? I thought he was on the 76ers now.
I said that he had won a ring with the Lakers. Right now he is with the 76ers. He is behind. He does back up Joel Embiid. But, you know, I think people lost respect for Dwight Howard. He went from Orlando to Los Angeles to replace Shaq, to, you know, be that second option to
No
Kobe.
one can replace Shaq. Shaq is just a football player that plays basketball. Shaq is the 400-pound lineman that you can't block whenever he drives in.
Okay, so next episode, Nathan, you need to make a note of this. All right?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to talk about this, and I know we don't have time to do this tonight. Okay? But I want to cover how many rings would Kobe have won if he didn't have Shaq?
No, we can talk about that. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. And that goes into, like, my other thing that I have written down that's specific to you. Because, like, whenever we have guests on, I try and write topics as well that are specific to the guest. So I also have written down who are the best players of your generation versus our generation.
You want to get into that now?
Yeah, and then you can talk about Kobe with Shaq versus without Shaq. Like, because the idea that I kind of got from that is, like, obviously, like, it's kind of an obvious move to, like, compare the generations, but also, like, Through the Wire, which is sponsored by House of Highlights, I think. They did, whenever 2020 hit, like 2019, like December 31st or something, they did an episode called the Decade Draft or something. And it was like 5 guys, and they went in order, and they basically made an all-star team. But it was like they got to choose their players from 2010 to 2019. And, yeah.
So I guess we'll do something a little bit like that.
Who do you think I'm going to pick as number 1?
Well,
I don't know.
So
I graduated high school in '94. Okay.
Okay.
I know you know who your mom loved in 90 through 94, and she came on and she said Bo Jackson.
Laid out by her
Bo Jackson.
Let's keep it a basketball.
If you didn't have Bo Jackson for basketball, who did you have?
I don't know.
Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Greatest player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I've had this conversation with you. I've had this conversation with you before, Nathan, because you know how I feel about Jordan. I didn't like him because it got to the point, like Tom Brady, where you were like, who's going to be in the finals, Jordan?
Yeah.
Who's going to be in the finals? Jordan. Who's going to be in the finals? Jordan. Jordan again. Jordan again. Jordan again. Jordan again.
I'm so ready to have Josiah on, because Josiah is a hardcore LeBron fan, and like I want to have the GOAT argument with him, because he's gonna keep going off about LeBron, and we're gonna keep going off about Jordan. It's gonna be so great.
Let me ask you this though, okay? Seriously here, and I will ask Fernando. All right? Have you ever seen LeBron be up in the air for longer than 6 seconds? No.
No, but everyone remembers the dunk from the free throw line. I mean, that's the Jordan logo.
Jordan was in the air for half a dozen seconds. No man has ever done that, ever. Ever. Not Oscar Robinson, not Magic, not
Larry.
Dr. J, not Larry, not Hakeem Olajuwon. Nobody has ever been in the air for a half a dozen seconds.
So I know that like Fernando's gonna roll his eyes at this, but forget Jordan, and this isn't me saying this as a Spurs fan either. I just found the video really interesting. Forget Jordan, forget LeBron. There's a guy that makes videos about this specific thing, and he makes arguments for like how every single player in the league can be considered the GOAT. Like he argues like how like each different players, like not besides Jordan and LeBron, can be the GOAT. And there's one about Tim Duncan, which I think is like really great. And like it's actually like really good. And like I'll see if I can find it and send it to y'all. But like he talked about like I think he even brought up Jordan and LeBron, and I forgot what he said. And he's like, he's like, well, Tim Duncan did those exact things, but without that, or something like that. I forget exactly what it was. But he's like, LeBron. He was like, LeBron won this many championships. Jordan won this many championships. Tim Duncan won 5, and they were almost all consecutive.
Bill Russell won 11 rings. Robert Horry won 7 rings. I don't think he rings.
Oh my God! I was just about to say that. Oh wow! Fernando took it out of my mouth. Robert Horry won how many?
7.
7, Nathan. 7. How many did Derek Fisher win?
3, I believe. Derek Fisher, I believe, won 3.
6.
6. Oh God. Yeah. See, that's why I don't think that rings can be a factor to go.
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead and
verify that.
Okay, so
I'm gonna verify that here.
And I will add on to what you had talked about, the whole Jordan thing, the athleticism. I think the only people that I believe could ever, even come close to the whole athleticism and in the whole just dunks compared to Jordan, maybe you could say Vince Carter. Maybe you could say, Levine and Aaron Gordon and their dunk contest that people remember. I say Jordan's the GOAT because the whole mentality. You did not want to face Jordan.
Okay, so
excuse me.
Speaking of the dunk contest, I know that Fernando, like every time I bring up a conspiracy, Fernando's like, no, let's not talk about that on the podcast because he doesn't want to get in trouble with like the NBA and stuff like that.
Well, I don't want to get in trouble with the NBA. I believe that we can go on and on and make conspiracies all day. Yeah. I think that our podcast should be strictly about what's going on in basketball.
Because I had originally said I had originally said that I thought the 2020 finals was like rigged, and then like you got the Lakers Kings conspiracy. But I want to bring up, he just said dunk contest. Do you know where I'm going with this, Dad?
No, I don't. But I don't agree with
Blake Griffin. Griffin Kia dunk contest. If you look at the dunks he made versus everybody else, you can look up Kia. Like you can go to YouTube and look up Blake Griffin dunk contest, and like all the top results are about how the Blake Griffin dunk contest was rigged and how Blake Griffin did not win the dunk contest because it's sponsored. Think about it. It's sponsored by Kia. What was Blake Griffin's last dunk in that contest in order to win it? It was jumping over a Kia.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that specific dunk.
So yeah.
There was talk, I want to say, back in 2018, about whether or not they could get Jordan to choreograph and to sponsor himself the NBA All-Star Dunk contest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, kind of like Fernando says, he doesn't want to get into conspiracy theories. You don't have anything to worry about. We are talking as gentlemen, and we can talk and we can say whatever we want to say on YouTube. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Because what you told me before, Fernando, is that you didn't want to you didn't want to have NBA lawyers bounding on your door or something. Is what you told me.
I didn't say that. I said that I didn't want to do the conspiracy theories because for every sport there's a conspiracy theory. But if we go strictly in conspiracy theories, I don't believe we're ever gonna have time to talk about anything else because you can go on and on forever about it.
That's true.
So let's be different.
I like that.
Talk about.
But it's fun though.
It is fun
because I love the conspiracy theories. Now, with that said, what I was gonna say is I don't think that Jordan could have been asked to sponsor the league because at the time in 2018 he was majority owner of the Hornets and he still is.
Yeah.
So you're kind of stuck in a rut with what do you want to do to make the dunk contest better? And
Conflict
I've seen
of interest
dunks in the last 5 years that have been incredible. Guys that have jumped over other guys blindfolded, and you're like, what's the deal? And they got 9s.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
That
should be a 10.
Jimmy High Roller is one of the best basketball YouTube commentators. And I've sent you a lot of his stuff, Dad, before I even got into the podcast. Anytime he came out with a new video, I sent you Jimmy High Roller. He has a video.
Yeah.
He has a video called the problem. I think the exact title is something like "The Problem with the NBA Dunk Contest," and it's almost exactly what you just said. He's like, he talks about whenever you have 4 or 5 guys every single year. How do you change? How do you have there's only so many ways you can dunk a basketball.
Yeah.
If you have 5 people, and not even 5 people every year, 5 people for 3 rounds every year. So that's 15 dunks every year. How do you add so much variety to it? You can't. And so some things are going to be repetitive, and the repetition takes it down a notch when it could be one of the greatest things ever. But it's been done before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fernando?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I think it's just like the All-Star game. It's an annual tradition, so why ruin it? There's stuff that you can do. There's better athletes that come in. Maybe some creativity, and that's what separates it. Who doesn't remember Aaron Gordon jumping over Taco Fall?
But that's exactly what I'm saying. Is you can only have so much creativity because there's only so many ways you can dunk a basketball that are limited to the human capabilities. It's not like you're gonna dunk the basketball from half court. We just talked about Jordan doing it from the free throw. You're not gonna dunk from a half court. There's only so much the human body can do that limits the variety of how you can dunk a basketball.
And you know what the funny thing is that's not what I'm talking about as far as Jordan's 6 seconds. I'm talking about when Jordan had the flu in the playoffs, shouldn't have played, scored 51 points, and he went up on the right side, brought it around with his left hand, and still in the air, put it up against the glass. That's the 6 seconds I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the free throw line. I'm not talking about a dunk contest. It was in the playoffs when the man had the flu.
I know. I'm just using it as like an example.
That's one of the greatest, athletic. Jordan was an athlete, and that in itself is, that is respect for Jordan. But one thing I don't know if I told Nathan about this, but one thing I wanted to do because I knew we were going to record on the 7th is so the dunk contest is generally 4 people, 4 players. I mean, this year they're only doing 3. So now I have to ask these both y'all here, if you could do an all-time dunk contest, who would be your all-time 4 people in their prime? Fantasy.
You just caught me off guard, so I have no idea.
That's
good, right?
nice. Yay! That's hard to do. That's hard to do with Nathan. That's very hard to do. I can tell you mine.
I'd love to hear.
In my lifetime. Vince Carter.
Oh, okay, that's good. Air Canada.
Yep.
So Vince Carter.
Who was the one that dunked over Taco? You said it was Aaron Gordon, right?
Aaron Gordon, another great guy that you would add.
Yeah, very underrated. Very underrated.
You could add Michael Jordan. LeBron would be another good one. I mean, who wouldn't want to see a dunk contest where you got Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and
That'd be classic.
Yeah.
Since Fernando and Josiah like to say that all Giannis does is run and dunk, how about I put Giannis in there just for fun?
Hey, that could be good. I mean, shoot.
He's got the length, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of guys in his era that have the arm length that Giannis has. The guy's got some arms, man, and they go all the way down below his waist, and you're like, good lord, man, where'd this guy's arms come from? He's like Kareem times. He's like Inspector Gadget.
you know what I always fire back with Fernando though? Every time he says all Giannis does is run and dunk. Where would Harden be in the league right now if the free throw line were taken and the 3-point line were taken?
Here we go with Harden. Oh, good
I will
lord.
say, I'm fine. I'll counter with this. If Giannis was.
Why do you think people give so much hate about it though? Because it's true. The same thing happened with Shaq. The Shaq hug. That was because Shaq couldn't throw free throws, and so they made him go to the free throw line. And then people were booing their own teams because they were like, "This game fucking sucks. We're at the free throw line for 3/4 of the game." And so, yeah, we don't want. We as fans don't want to see people at the free throw line, Fernando.
Where would Giannis, Kobe and Shaq? But let him finish. Let Fernando finish.
Yeah.
Where would Giannis be if he was shoot my height? If he was 6'3", where would Giannis be?
Shooting
Giannis
threes?
Hold on.
He would be a Curry. He would be a Klay Thompson.
Wait. Hold on. Take a step back. You're 6'3"?
I'm 6'3", yes.
Yeah, Fernando's a big dude.
All right.
Fernando, do you want to stand up and like compare to your shelf behind you?
All right.
You see all the monster cans, Dad? I told you.
You don't have to prove it. You don't have to prove it, man.
See, you see all the monster cans though, like I told you before.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of stuff here. Maybe I'll show it for a bit.
Oh, now he's gonna show off his room.
I know.
Yeah,
Here we go.
But,
Hey, he's got the cards and the comics and the
video games.
Good lord.
A bunch of monsters. And
Holy crap. Alright.
yeah. And right now I'm
He manages to have a game room in a dorm. How do you afford that, sir? Wait, is your laptop on your bed right now?
Yeah. There.
Oh, okay.
Can't really move it. But yes, I work at Pan Express and I make $10 an hour and I make horrible decisions. And that's why I have video games.
Okay.
Is Dan there? Tell Dan hi for me if he's there.
I'm sorry?
I said if Dan's there, tell Dan hi for me.
Oh, he's in his room. I think he's still busy doing a bunch of homework.
Oh, if he's busy, then don't. Yeah. But last episode we talked about how me and Fernando were almost roommates, but we aren't. So yeah.
Oh god. Yeah.
Hey, you want to come down to SA, man? And transfer to UTSA?
Shoot. I mean, I love San Antonio. I've been there before. I've been there a few times. But
no, because he can't, because then the podcast would change from plus 71 to minus 71.
Yeah. The title would be good change because Nathan came to Belmont and it was the 281 to the he said 201 to 281.
Yeah, 210 to 281.
Hey, we got 832.
Sure, yeah. I mean, 409 here in Belmont, but financial aid is really good at the school, and that's why I won't go away from here, Lamar.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna do a whole rant about it on Men Squared after I leave, because like I've said before on Men Squared, I said I don't want to talk about it now in case somehow my school sees it and then I get kicked out for it. But I'm like, once I'm out of the school, I can freely talk about the school, and I'm going to talk about all the problems I've had to deal with and how my financial aid that I'm getting is not worth what I'm having to put up with, which is why I'm leaving.
Yeah, different story for a different day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm still on the fact that Fernando's 6'3". I had no idea.
And so, if Giannis my height, where would he be? He'd probably be working with me here at Pan Express.
No, he'd be a Klay Thompson, dude. The dude can... He would be a Klay Thompson.
Nah, Giannis is not that good of a three-point shooter.
No, because you say, again, you say Giannis can only dunk, but he knows how to shoot from that range.
True, but whenever people think of Giannis, they think of, his athleticism, his ability to attack the paint, his ability to, kick it out to shooters. Because whenever he goes down,
you also have to think his brain, his brain would stay the same if his height changed. He has the basketball IQ. He could adapt his game. Say, all right. Say we take the circumstance, okay? Giannis is in the league right now. He wakes up tomorrow. All of a sudden, he's 6'3". Let's take that scenario, okay? He's been playing in the league so long that he could go to coach, be like, hey, I don't know what the fuck happened, some weird mutation thing, maybe some asteroid radioactive. Instead of turning into the Hulk, I got shorter. I don't know what to tell you. He can talk to coach.
I'm telling you right now, Giannis wouldn't make an NBA roster.
No.
He would be on G League.
If I was Giannis and that happened, I would go to coach, be like, hey, listen, I've been in the league for a while. Let me just adapt my game. Sit me out for 3 weeks. However long it takes. After 3 weeks, I've adapted my game enough. I can shoot well enough that I went from a power forward, now I'm a shooting guard. And I'm balling up as a shooting guard now, but I'm still in the NBA. I'm still getting my 30 points a game. I just had to change up the way I do it.
It would take way longer than 3 weeks, my guy. He'd be gone for a good couple of months.
Still, I feel like he could come back just with a changed game. Maybe they send him to the G League like they do sometimes, but after the G League, he comes back and he's still a buck. Dad, we lost you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Your webcam isn't on.
You make Harden and Giannis. You make Harden and Giannis 6 foot. Harden's easily miles the better player.
He's not though. Harden has like a third of his points
Harden?
from the free throw line.
Hold on.
How tall is Harden?
I believe he's 6'5".
Siri.
He's 6'5".
How tall is Harden? James Harden is 6 foot 5 inches.
6'5". Harden is 6'5", yeah.
Interesting.
So you go from Giannis' height, which I believe is 7'1". Yeah, 6'11".
7 foot. 7
Yeah.
foot flat.
So if you go from 7 foot to 6'5", you're telling me that Giannis is the better player, even at.
Yes, because he can still shoot.
You're acting like he's Klay Thompson out there, my guy.
Okay,
And
well,
I don't like Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson
I don't
is an
think
exaggeration.
Klay Thompson is that good.
Oh yeah, so Dad, this was something else we brought up.
No, hold on. Look up. Where did Klay Thompson go to college? Where did he play?
I can use Siri again.
Yeah, do it.
Where did Klay Thompson go to college?
He went to
Washington State University.
What was it?
Washington State.
I don't think he's that good.
We brought up on the last podcast with the amount of times he gets, the amount of seasons he's been injured already. He's been injured 2 consecutive seasons. I told Fernando, I said if he gets injured next season, I can see the Golden State Warriors dropping him. Because it's like, you don't get paid. Yeah, you don't get paid to sit on the sidelines with a broken leg. Yeah. If you've been injured 3 seasons in a row, like, you're gone.
I think they tried to trade him to another team that would be able to willingly give up pieces, or maybe another player. Maybe he goes to maybe a team like Washington. They get Bradley Beal back, and Golden State gives up picks and Curry.
So then what if they're not going to give up Curry? The Warriors will never give up Curry.
I said picks and Curry, but I actually meant picks and Klay.
Okay.
For maybe a Bradley Beal.
The Warriors giving up Curry would be like the Lakers giving up LeBron. It's just not going to happen. What was I going to say?
I'm going to pull up. I pulled up Giannis's stats right now. Yes, he's averaging 29 and 11. But we go to his percentages. This season he's a 55% field goal shooter, which is good. You want to be above 50%. We go to his 3 percentage. He's a career 28.4 3-point shooter and a 66% free throw shooter this year.
But he's 28 at 7 foot. If he goes to 6'3", it's going to be like 40.
You act like he's a good enough shooter now to even say he can become.
But I don't think you're getting what I'm saying. He has the basketball IQ that he can adapt his game, and then he's making the same amount of points a game, just in a different way. That's what I think.
You have a very high. You think very highly of Giannis, way higher than I would consider it. But that's all I'll say on that whole.
Okay, so if you're done attacking Giannis, where would Harden be without the free throw line? He would be back.
Still a great shooter.
Guess what? The answer is we already know. It would be 9 points a game, not starting. We already know. Whenever he was with OKC, that's what was happening. As soon as he got traded from OKC, he went from 9 points a game to 30, and he had so much time on the free throw line. We already know the answer. He would be back to OKC Harden without the free throw line.
OKC Harden
shoots foul shots, and that's all he does.
My guy, that all I'll say is Harden is way more skilled, and you have a very very highly of him. That's all I'll say.
Do I need to resend you the GIF?
A couple of topics because I do have to leave in soon I'm
No worries, man. Hey,
honestly,
quick,
me and my dad can keep going off even if he has time.
And we could go on this all night.
Yeah.
All night.
And I'm willing to. I don't care.
the one guy that I was talking about earlier, his name is Io, and he played for Baylor, he played for Ohio, and he played for NCA&T, and Illinois picked him up off of NCA&T, and I don't know where he's from. And I'm sorry, I can't pronounce the guy's name, but so I'm probably gonna get in trouble here, and if I do, I really don't care. I really don't. It's beside the, it's well after the fact. We've crossed that bridge. So when I was in Illinois, the arena was locked down. They had padlocks all the way around. You could not get into the arena. You literally could not. And they're building onto it, but
Well, it's
they're going to
Illinois.
tear
What
it
do you
down,
expect?
and they're going to build up on top of it. So my dumbass.
I like how nobody talked about what I just said.
And no, I heard you, Nathan. I heard you, and we can go on. We can go on that tangent.
No,
soon.
let's not. Let's not.
There's a lot of tangents we can go on, but so I walked down a service entrance, and I had maintenance guys like, "What are you doing?" And well, you know me. I'm your dad. I'm crazy. I really don't care. So I went down the service entrance, and they were like, "What are you doing down here?" And I'm like, "Well, I just wanted to check out the arena." And they were like, "Well, you don't need to be down here."
You
and I
can't
said, "Well,
do that."
then you need to not let the service door open and let me walk down here like I'm a dumbass and I'm not a student." And they're like, "Oh, you're not a student?" No, I'm not a student. But I just wanted to see if I could like say hi to Io.
You're
that's
such an idiot.
That's probably not even how you pronounce the guy's name. Well, they were practicing, and I didn't get to the court, but I talked to some of the guys, and they were like, "You're nuts, man," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, I know, I'm nuts."
You know what you should have done? You should have gone to Walmart before and been like, let's see how far I can get in with the basketball. And then if I get to a certain point, have them sign it.
That's funny because I walked on to the field, and there was 18 inches of snow on the ground during the time. And the maintenance guys then were like, "What's this guy doing?" And I have pictures of that. I don't have pictures inside the stadium because, well, they made me leave. But, yeah. Trent Frazier, Io.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even, like, you're probably not going to get us past a certain point. But if you're already in the mindset of, like, I'm going to test how far I can go, then you might as well be like, well, if I do get this far, what do I do then? So you buy a basketball, and then you're like, I probably won't get to the court, but if I do, at least I have something.
Okay.
You said Ayo Dosunmu, number 11, 6'5" guard.
That's him.
Yeah, averaging 20.9. Oh, he's right.
And Trent Frazier is averaging 34 a game. So I'm telling you, these guys are going to be solid.
See,
they took out Michigan. They took out Ohio State. And I just read the other day that ESPN is saying that the conference to beat in the tournament this year is the Big Ten. And I believe it. And the Big 12, mind you, has, I want to say 6 in the top 20. And for ESPN to come on and say, hey, the Big Ten is where it's about, that's bold words. Bold words.
So, back with, like, the rookie thing, you were saying, like, oh, yeah, the rookies now aren't that good. I think if you take 2018 to 2021 rookies, they beat, like, or actually you even see it now, like, some rookies are beating, like, veterans. And that was because of what we've discussed before, Dad, which is college, they actually care about their stats because they want to get drafted, and that carries into their first 1 or 2 years of the NBA. Versus veterans, they're like, oh, I'm making $100 million. I could honestly like throw a game and still get paid and not care. And that's why these rookies, and especially NCAA, it's all about defense. And that's why the Nuggets are winning too. Because the Nuggets the other day had, or not the other day, but like a recent game, they had 1 turnover. And defense is what matters. Because think about it. If you get ahead in the game, the only way, because basketball is constantly back and forth, the only way to catch up from being behind is for the other team to lose possessions. So like if you're 4 behind, you need to get 2 baskets without the other team making baskets. Therefore, if the other team isn't losing a possession and they're making every possession count, it's impossible for you to catch up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So if they're
I get that.
and then you also add their defense on top of it, the other team's defense. So then even if you are only 1 possession behind, and then like they turn it over, oh, this is your chance to catch up. This is your chance to tie it. We finally caught up to them in possessions. Block, steal, like defense. Like I know it does. It got said all the time during the Spurs championships because the Spurs did it. It got said with the Seahawks and the Broncos during the Super Bowl. Defense wins championships, and I forget. I feel like I keep saying it. I feel like nowadays people are forgetting that and focusing on who has the highest score. If you focus on defense, you will win. And the Nuggets are finally going back on that idea, and they're rising through the rankings so fast. They had 1 motherfucking turnover. 1 turnover.
All right. With that said, I know Fernando's got to go, okay? But I will say this. I think 2 things we need to touch on next time. If I'm invited. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have Josiah next time probably, and then after that, whenever you want to come on, it doesn't matter.
That's cool. Hey, I'm on anytime. Anytime you guys want me to be on, I'll be on, and I'll talk about whatever I know. Okay. 1 thing, or actually 2 things. Okay. The Shaq and Kobe thing, I really want to touch on that because I feel like that's important, and I would love to hear both of y'all's thoughts. The second thing. You talk about defense.
Mm-hmm.
But in Fernando's corner, I will say, what did Houston do with D'Antoni?
Offense.
You can't go wrong with that.
There's multiple ways.
Was constant. He was run and gun, and it worked, Nathan. It worked. Now,
D'Antoni 7 straight for less.
I do agree with the defense thing. I really do, because the Spurs did win some championships there. But at the same time, before D'Antoni, there was Pat Riley, and you can't go wrong with Pat Riley.
I still feel like defense is more important because of what I said. Like if you get first possession and then it's 2-0, and then the whole game it's just back and forth. There's no way for them to keep up if you're constantly making every possession count.
No, there is. You want to know why? And here's the 4th thing, okay? I want to talk about Reggie Miller scoring 9 points in 8 seconds. No player has ever done that.
Oh, yeah.
I think the closest thing to that is Tracy McGrady's 13 and 30.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. All right. You got me on that one.
And I'm pretty sure it happened during a Spurs game, too, which kind of sucks.
I think it did. I think you're right. I think it did. I think it happened in the Spurs game. You're right. You're very right.
Yeah, let me pull it up. What? Yeah, they were
Okay, so this is another topic I really wanted to talk about with Dad, because it's kind of like an emotional and like generation thing.
It was against the Spurs.
Chris Paul's 61 book and movie. Have you seen stuff with that, Dad?
Hey,
Do you know what that is about?
how long does Fernando have?
I'm
10 minutes or so.
I'm here. I'm out of here at 7:30. I have I'm swamped with homework. So.
Okay, all right. Give me just a minute, okay? Give me a minute. All right. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is like if you, Chris Paul's coming out with.
Oh, he left.
Yeah, he said give me a minute. I think he's gotta go do something at his house and then he'll be back. Chris Paul, and I'll say this when my dad comes back. Chris Paul has written a book called 61, and they're gonna make a movie about it. And what it is let me pull it up just so I don't say this wrong. But I think what it is he wrote a book basically saying how his grandpa taught him how to play basketball. And then his grandpa passed away, and he wrote a book about like how his grandpa taught him how to play the game and like everything like that. And I forget where the 61 comes from, but I think I know
what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it was he dropped the amount of points.
Yeah,
for his
he
grandfather.
drops
the high school game. Yes, I do remember. It's a high school game. He apparently dropped it. I think for the age of his grandfather. He had passed away at 61, and he had dropped 61 in his high school game.
Yeah, that's what it was. I'm looking at it right now.
For his grandfather. I do remember the story, but it was something like that I haven't heard in a while.
Chris Paul, 61 life lessons from Papa on and off the court. And then the quote from him says, yeah, his grandpa was 61 years old. And then the quote says, 61 is a celebration of my Papa Chili, who helped shape who I am today and what I value. And yeah, and it's gonna come out on Disney Plus, a live action film about Chris Paul, which is developed from his book. So I wanted to hear my dad's thoughts on that, because like, you know, my dad got into basketball because my grandpa. I got into basketball like partly because of my dad and stuff like that. I was never a huge football guy. I was always, you know, basketball. So, I want to hear your thoughts on this as well.
I mean, Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul, when all is said and done, I think he's also known as the player with the highest IQ of basketball. Every time he steps on the court, I mean, you want to mentor the young guys. You want Chris Paul. That's why it was a good move on OKC's part to trade away Westbrook for Chris Paul, because they had their new young star in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Chris Paul, he was a former Rocket, and I'll always think of what would have happened. I think we were one hamstring away, his torn hamstring, from winning it all. I truly do believe that if the Rockets had Chris Paul not gone down, the Rockets would have beaten Golden State, and they would have gone on to beat LeBron and the Cavs, because that Cavs team wasn't really that good. So I do feel for Chris Paul. You know, I also I have a very close relationship with my grandparents, and I even did have one that passed away when I was really young. So Chris Paul. It's sad to me. I really don't think he'll ever win a ring, because right now, his age isn't on his side, and he's playing for Phoenix. They are good, but I don't think they have what it takes to beat Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, or even Miami. But Chris Paul is one of those players. Everyone likes the guy. I don't think anyone really dislikes Chris Paul.
Yeah. Alright, so I'll bring that back up when my dad comes back. This is like some quick fire stuff that I can get out right like real quick before you leave. Russell Westbrook airball the free throw, which I thought was funny because we talked before about how shitty Russell is now. Then we have. Is that Dan you're talking to?
No, I'm live. I turned around real quick. No one's here.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Russell airball the free throw. Giannis's kid turned 1. Nets got the franchise 3 record.
Oh, and one thing we'll announce today that actually happened today. Former Pistons forward and former All-Star forward Blake Griffin has cleared the waiver wire and is expected to sign with the Brooklyn Nets, according to Shams
There's no way he's
Charania.
going to the Nets.
He has apparently it's a verbal agreement. Is what I hear on Twitter. So now
That's
it is
such a power team if that happens.
Kyrie Irving.
I didn't hear anything about that. That'd be so overpowered.
Yeah, it just legit just happened today. It happened. I think it happened like 30 minutes before we started the recording.
Oh, that's.
But something I do want to bring on. No one's stopping the Nets. It is over. I'm guaranteeing it right now. The Lakers, even if the Warriors were healthy, and there is no team right now that is going to stop.
I don't even think the Warriors are that good anymore. Ever since that last season, where like everybody was injured except for Draymond Green, they haven't bounced back from that yet. And
the Jazz, the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Bucks, no team right now can stop the Nets. It is now James Harden at point guard, Kyrie Irving at shooting guard, Kevin Durant at small forward, Blake Griffin at power forward, and DeAndre Jordan at center. I'm telling you right now, no one's beating that team. DeAndre and Blake Griffin may not be in their prime, but you got a big three that can score the shit out of the ball. And now you add this depth of Blake being a better shooter now, and you probably add more talent, you add more names. You have to game plan for this. You're not going to double everyone. I think Blake Griffin bounces back. He's not. He's the fourth option in this team. In Detroit, before Rose went away, before Christian Wood and Andre Drummond, when Andre Drummond got traded, it was just Christian Wood. But whenever Drummond and Rose were there, he was still balling out. He was still performing at a higher level. So I think he's not going to be asked to do much. It's less wear on him. It's less tread on the tires for him. It's guaranteed right now. No one's stopping the Nets. Blake Griffin to the Nets is. I'm just shocked. I know that apparently the Clippers wanted him, the Celtics wanted him, and the Lakers wanted him. But he chooses to sign with the Brooklyn Nets. And man, first thoughts on that?
So real quick before you leave, 2 more things.
All right.
Bird's name. We still haven't come up with one. And
McLovin.
don't say McLovin.
McLovin.
It's not going to be McLovin.
McLovin.
It's not going to be McLovin, but
McLovin.
I'm going to start making like actual jerseys for him because these ones look pretty bad. So I have another idea.
You have a name. Do you have a name in mind for the bird?
No, I wanted to ask my dad too, but he left. And then
I guarantee, unless you don't have a name for it, but I do. I truly think McLovin is the best name for it.
Okay, Dad, you're back.
I was.
Okay, last thing before you leave, Fernando. What do you are you looking forward to Kyrie versus LeBron in the All-Star game? Because they've been starting to get some beef, if you noticed that. Like Kyrie like they were already like shit talking each other, and then LeBron airballed a free throw, and Kyrie was like, "This is your guy," and so like Kyrie and LeBron have beef now, and so I want to see it come out in the All-Star game. I'm ready, and then also I'm looking forward to Kawhi and LeBron as well, because if you remember, I want to see if my prediction comes true. I said if Kawhi and LeBron are on the same All-Star team, they're not going to pass it to each other that much because they don't like each other. And I want to see if that comes true.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Hey, I wanna copy what Fernando said. Oh Lord. Did you you guys we started recording right after some of the pregame. And it was actually kind of cool because Shaq was on TNT or whatever. Yeah, it's got to be TNT.
Yeah, because that's inside the NBA.
Right. And he was interviewing Chris Paul with some Beats headphones I've never seen before. Slick headphones, mind you. Beats, man, they got it going on. I got the cheap stuff right here. But they interviewed Paul, and I'd like to touch on him because of what I feel like he has done with the Suns. I think Fernando touched on a little bit of this in last episode, I think. But anyway, Shaq said, "Look, if the West wins, I will give $25,000 to your donation, to your charity in donation." And Chris Paul one-upped him and said, 50? And he said, no. I'm not going to give away 50, but I will give away 25. I thought that was pretty slick, man.
See, I hate that's something that bothers me about like stuff like that, though, is like people are like, oh, if you win, I'll donate this. And it's like, what if they lose? Just fuck the charity?
Hey, it's a challenge, and I mean, and I can bring up like a million different examples, like from work and whatnot. Probably wouldn't be a good idea, but that it's always good to challenge somebody else.
Yeah, I was just making a joke, but like,
I know you are.
But if he loses, Shaq, Chris Paul goes to Shaq and was like, so you were just saying that to like give me incentive to win, right? You're still gonna donate, and Shaq's like, no, I'm just gonna fuck you. I'm gonna go buy like a new Lambo or something. Like, so fuck your charity. I said if you won and you lost, so I'm gonna go get a new car.
Nah, man, he's gonna buy bulk pallets of Icy Hot.
All right, so before I head out, I will want to ask your father this. About 15 to 30 minutes before we started recording, it was reported that Blake Griffin, former Pistons forward, has cleared the waiver wire and will be signing with the Brooklyn Nets, according to Shams Chamario, or however you say his last name. So Blake Griffin is a Net. Now you have Harden at the 1, Kyrie at the 2, KD at the 3, Blake Griffin at the 4, and DeAndre Jordan at the 5. What are your thoughts on that?
I
already said it.
You have me speechless for two reasons. One, I hadn't heard that yet, and two, oh boy.
You can give my reaction. I told Fernando, I was like, that's it. League's fucked. We're done.
Yeah. I said, if there was any doubt that the Brooklyn Nets weren't going to win it all, those doubts are gone now, because not only does Blake Griffin add, just that little extra, Blake Griffin, when he was in Detroit, when he wasn't injured, he became a better shooter. He became sort of the main focus. Now he's on a team where he's the fourth option. That leaves him to not do much and just play to the best of his abilities and to just focus on what he is best at.
Who's
I'll still take KD over Griffin, though.
Nash and the assistant coach is Mike D'Antoni.
Wait a minute. So, the Nets are operating with Nash?
Nash is the head coach, Mike D'Antoni as the assistant coach.
D'Antoni is... Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay.
To me, there is zero doubt they win it all this year.
I don't think they will. I mean, it's gonna definitely change some things up, but I still don't think the Nets will win it.
Real quick, without going on a tangent, Nathan, who do you think's gonna beat them?
We gave our finals predictions in episode 1. I don't remember what they were. Let me double check what the standings are.
If we did it in episode 1, I probably said something like Philly, and I said I think whenever if it was episode 1, I said it was going to be the Rockets, and I think I said Boston or Philadelphia, right? Obviously, Harden and Westbrook are gone. Right now, it's going to be Brooklyn, LA, whichever LA team it is. I believe it would be Lakers.
No.
But
no.
I think the finals.
I don't think LeBron can do it.
Yeah, I don't think so. But
I think the finals is gonna be Jazz and the Celtics.
No.
I'm gonna go out. Okay, hear me out here.
Okay.
Go out on a limb.
Or actually, no.
All right.
I'll say it's gonna be Jazz and the Bucks. You know what?
No.
Jazz and the Bucks. No.
No. I'm gonna say this is crazy. Okay, but I'm gonna say if they can be coached right, and that is a very, very tall order. If they can be coached right, I'm gonna say the Suns take it to the finals.
No.
And I'm gonna say the Suns take Brooklyn, and Brooklyn ends up winning it all. But only in the event that Brooklyn can coexist. And that is my biggest question in regards to Fernando's question.
Yes.
Is you get a lot of good players, but can they coexist?
I guess I got it from my dad. Every time a player is traded, everybody's like, "Oh, this is a super team." I'm like, "No, you fucking idiot. It doesn't matter. You gotta have team chemistry. You can't put like I just said about the All-Star game. You can't put Kawhi and LeBron on the same fucking team. You gotta have team chemistry. Those motherfuckers hate each other."
Okay.
I'll say this.
Go ahead, Fernando.
I was skeptical at first that that Harden could coexist with Kyrie and Durant, especially with everything that had been going on with Kyrie previous to the trade. Him just going off the face of the earth. Him just, third eye stuff. Him just believing he's this, philosophical genius and whatnot. The whole Harden without a mask on. I had skepticism that they could coexist together, but although their defensive rating is the worst in the NBA, but their offensive rating is the best in the NBA now. Like we said, yes, it's defense, but there's also another side to that coin. It can be offense, and that's what the Brooklyn Nets are. Kyrie is behaving, if that makes any sense. I believe they can coexist now. Surprisingly, Harden took the back seat. Kyrie, changed his role up a bit. Kevin Durant is just going to be this, like, the whole leader of this. Blake Griffin adds to that. It may take some time, but come playoffs, there's no one that's going to be able to stop them. And that's all I'll say, because I do have to do homework. It was a pleasure.
Later, dog. I got some more stuff I'll go with my dad about, so it's all good. I don't have that much left, so me and my dad may go for like 10, 15 minutes, and then I'll end the episode.
So it was nice meeting you, sir. We hope to have you back.
Do this again, bro.
Yeah, of course. I'd love to have you back. I'd love to talk more football. You have it's a whole different perspective.
More football. You mean more basketball?
Sorry, we're going to talk more basketball. getting some more perspective from your side. More opinions. So it helps the channel. It helps the podcast, and it was good to have you here. Peace out, everyone.
Hey, we get right on, man. Hey, stay on top of the work.
Will do. Okay. Yes, sir.
And that's my dad being a dad.
All right, we'll do. I'll see you guys later. It was good.
Right,
later, Fernando.
Peace out. Later on, man.
So, yeah, I got some other stuff for you, Dad. While you were gone, I talked about this stuff with Fernando a little bit. Okay. What are your thoughts on the Chris Paul 61 book and movie? Did you see about that?
No.
So, Chris Paul wrote a book, and let me pull up the exact title again. The title of the book is called 61 Life Lessons from Papa on and off the court. Because if you remember, he shot 61 shots in honor of his grandpa that died at the age of 61. And so the book is all about how his grandpa, taught him how to be a man and everything, taught him how to play basketball, taught him about the game. And the quote says, 61 is a celebration of my Papa Chili, who helped shape who I am today and what I value. And so Disney, he wrote this book, and Disney Plus has announced that it is in development of making a live-action film about the book. So I wanted to hear your thoughts on that, because obviously, there's a little bit of, emotion there with, Grandpa as well. You got into basketball because of Grandpa Dave. I got into basketball, because of you. I don't really watch football. So,
and I get the emotional connection. I really do. I feel like I would have to either read the book, or I don't know whether or not watching the live action would actually do anything of justice. Because just based on the fact, and this is me talking here, based on the fact that I'm more visual than I am audio, or audio.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, let me read the book first, or let me read excerpts of it first before I make an opinion on it. I like the idea, but I want to see that the idea is genuine. If you're going to come out and you're going to put a book out, and you're only doing it based on the fact that you're marketing your name, or you are doing it in honor of your grandfather, but it didn't really mean as much as you truly feel, I'm going to pick up on that. I'm going to pick up on that just from the words that are written in the book. I may not necessarily pick up on that with the live action. So that's just my thought. I mean, if that is honestly the case, then I have a much more greater respect for Chris Paul than I did before. And honestly, I was going to tell Fernando this. I didn't have a lot of respect for Chris Paul. I felt like he was playing when he was playing for the Rockets, and even when he played with the Clippers, I really didn't think he was that good of a player. But then you put him on a team where he can excel, and he's managing. He's coexisting with his players, and he's doing what he should have done 2 or 3 years after he came into the league. Man, I've got a great deal for Chris Paul now. A great deal of respect for him. So, we'll see. Let me read the book. All right?
All right. The Team LeBron's going off right now, by the way. I finally have the score on
I don't
camera.
Even have it on.
It's 23-16.
And it just started, what, 20 minutes ago?
Yeah, about. It said it started at 7, but the score didn't start showing up until like 7:30.
Okay.
And then the last thing I have on here, we already talked March Madness, so yeah. I talked about the LeBron, Kyrie, trash talk. I was gonna talk about Zion, but I won't since Fernando already left. So last thing I have on here, Dad, what do you want to name the bird?
I don't have a name for the bird, but I do have a name for the team, and I'm not going to express that until it's time, and you tell me it's time.
Yeah,
but I'm
you gotta wait
about it.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna draw the whole logo, and I've already got the name, and what do I name? Oh God, what do I want to name the bird?
Fernando keeps saying McLovin, and I'm like, no, I don't want it to be a super bad reference. I want it to be something basketball related.
Yeah, but okay, so you guys have got to start listening to Dan Patrick. I'm serious, because one of his main guys that can pull stats in a heartbeat, and I love the guy, man. He's something else. His name is McLovin.
No.
So I like that. I like
that.
No!
Because now that you said that, Fernando's not going to shut up that you agree with that. We're not naming the bird McLovin.
We don't need to name the bird McLovin. Name the bird. Yeah, you're gonna have to give me a little bit of time.
Because the bird is like the mascot of the podcast, and so we need a name for him so that we can refer to him by name. And then also, whenever I remake these jerseys better and actually looking good, then the bird. I was talking to Fernando, I was like, whenever I made that video making the jerseys with paint and everything like that, I didn't realize Mom has one of those ironing things that can iron designs onto shirts. And so I was like, I can just make the shirt designs on Photoshop and then iron the designs onto t-shirts and then cut them out that way. It's a lot easier. And then I was like, plus whenever I made those shirts, I had made all those shirts the key players of each team. I made it LeBron, Giannis, Kyrie, all that. But whenever I do it this time, what it'll be is it'll be the jersey for the team, and then the number on the jersey will be 71, and then it'll say the bird's name. But that means we need a name for the bird. So, yeah. And then I also have Irish Spring right here, not sponsored, because that's another inside joke.
Oh my God.
Of episode 2.
I know. I saw it. Why don't you name it? We'll talk. Okay. Because I have an idea.
I want to throw all the names in a hat and then pull one out or something, because I don't have enough subs to make a poll. You can do polls on YouTube, but you need 1,000 subs or something so that you can have enough, so that YouTube thinks that you can have enough votes for it to even matter.
I know.
If that makes sense.
And I got people coming. They're coming.
Is there anything else you got or no? You talked Kobe Shaq. You wanted to do that. I know Fernando already left, but
I'm not going to do that until Fernando and Josiah's on.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Josiah, I'm really looking forward to.
And the rest of the things, did you take notes of the other stuff I wanted to touch on? Because I'd love to touch on those.
What was it?
I really do. Kobe and Shaq.
Here, I'll put it on
what were the other things?
Let me pull up the list of topics I have, so that I'll add these two for next time. So, Kobe without Shaq What else? Is that it?
No, there were 3 more, and I plugged little notes here in. There, yeah. Um, I'll get them. And we'll go from there.
All right. So,
All right.
if that's all we got, then plus 71, episode 4.